everybody, it's Elmo here. So I decided to cut my last two videos because they're too freaking long. So this video is about Burning Man Part 2. This explains how to use a meat shield. Meat shields are extremely important as they make it to where you can take on an opponent drastically bigger than you. I am only 36 million and yet I was able to take on Sri Lumpus, who uses T4 troops, and he is powered at 128 million. That means he's almost 100 million bigger than me. Now, you would think that means that I'm going to automatically lose, right? Well, let's find out. So the first attack that I had him do was with all of my troops outside and only 300,000 T1 troops in the house. No boss. So even without my boss, wrong battle report. So even without my boss, I was still able to kill 2,000 troops and wound 3,000 troops. But here's the kicker. It cost me 4 million in resource of most of the resources except diamonds to heal my troops. And it took me 3 seconds. I'm not joking, 3 seconds. I did not have to use any speed buffs. I didn't do any investments in it. That is the natural way of doing the Burning Man. If you have seen my first video, it tells you to prioritize your investments in advanced crew and then in T1 troops. There's a reason why you want to reduce the cost of them. The lower the cost of a T1 troop, the faster you can heal it. That goes for any other troop as well. It also reduces the cost of healing them, of course. So, again, the way this build is built is that I'm able to put out a very large amount of T1 troops. Right now, I only have 300,000 for this video. I will be eventually increasing that number to roughly about 1 to 2 million. But right now, I'm focusing on just the 300,000 that I have right now. So the other thing that you need to understand is, depending on which formation you use, depends on which T1 troop you want to prioritize. Remember, formations are, as you can see from here, he uses a bruiser square. Well, I'm using a bruiser square. That means that bruisers, which is the guys with the knives, are the guys out front. So when he attacks, those are the first ones that will take casualties every time. So you want to prioritize those over any other troop and put as many T1 bruisers as you can out. For an opponent to defeat me, they first have to destroy every single T1 bruiser that I have. Then they have to destroy every T2 bruiser that I have. Then they have to destroy every T3 bruiser that I have. And that's the only way that they're even going to be able to reach any other kind of troop. So what that means is, as long as I can continuously heal my troops between every single one of his attacks, he'll never reach my boss. And he will never reach any other troop either. So it takes 3 seconds to heal, and it's extremely unlikely that an opponent can be able to send his attack at me and then have it come back and then attack again within 3 seconds. That means it's impossible to take someone out like me who is currently online. That's the reason why you build a very large amount of these troops, because if you're offline, it'll give you time to get online and heal what you have. Because remember, it's all about speed. You got to be fast. So, as you can see from this video, I don't use a wall. That's because I use a meat shield. Walls make you look bigger, and they cost a drastically larger amount in investments, and traps cost a shitload in investments. But the difference between traps and troops is, traps, once that wall's down, they become ineffective. You have to repair your wall for a trap to be able to kill an opponent. That means if a big opponent like this guy comes in, I don't care how much investment you have in there, he's going to take your wall down. That means now all those traps that you put all that resource into have just became worthless. This is why using traps is really not as effective as using a meat shield. Meat shields are far less cost effective. Now we're going to take a look and see what happens when he attacks me with all of my troops at home. Remember, I don't have T4 troops. I'm also only 36 million and he's 128. What do you think is going to happen? We're about to find out. So, here's what happened. So, I gained 43,000 underboss experience from his attack because I was able to kill almost 100,000 of his troops. I killed 96,000 troops, hospitalized 57,000, and actually killed 38,000. That's pretty bad. That means his hospital capacity is very low. I just realized that. I need to let him know that. He needs to build up his hospitals. So, as you can see from here, he was able to wound 142,000 of my troops. That means that I can heal my troops almost instantly, and he still has to keep hitting me. That means he's going to need friends to do this. Are you understanding that concept? A 128 million player could not take out a 36 million player because I'm a Burning Man. Burning Man accounts are hard to take on solo. You need a group. You need to be able to fill my hospital. That means you need to be able to use a raid. A raid is the only way you can take down a Burning Man. But if a Burning Man is built properly, a Burning Man can also be a raid trap. So this is known as a Burning Man trap account. But it can become a raid trap account later on, which is what I've already done with this account. But some of you have not reached that part yet. So now we're going to go down here and take a look and see what exactly I was able to take out. So he was able to hospitalize every single T1 troop that I had that was a bruiser. Then he was able to hospitalize only 19,000 of my T2. So that's what I was saying is every single one of my troops, because he couldn't get past the T1s or the T2s, all my T3s were getting free shots at every single troop he sent. That's why my T3 troops, even though they're weaker, were able to take out his troops because he couldn't hit them. As long as his troops can't reach them, it's like, it's free shots. I get free shots over and over, and every time he attacks, every single attack, the first attack is going to be your strongest. Your second attack will be your second strongest, third and fourth and fifth. So he gets weaker every time he sends a march. But what he sees is your account is on fire. He thinks he's winning because that's what the game tells you. The game says if you wound someone's troops, you have lost. If that person's troops are more in the hospital than yours are, that means you've won the battle, and that guy is going to catch on fire. So big players like to see somebody catch on fire, and they'll keep attacking and not realize it. But a Burning Man account, which catches on fire instantly, is actually eating all their troops. That's why this build is so much fun, because you can teleport over to a big faction, piss somebody off by taking one of their littles, and they have no idea is that every time they're attacking you, they're losing every fucking thing. So you're getting free experience, free kills at almost no cost to you. And once that person realizes it, it's too late. Now you get to call your homies in and take him out because he's lost a very large amount of his troops because he got overeager to get to your underboss, which he never even came close to getting. This is the Burning Man account made by Tickle My Elmo. Love ya.